people don't understand. Back to what I was saying earlier. When you don't have that support, when you have a wife, this is for females too that drive over the road. If you're having a partner, if your partner, a teammate, if they don't understand you, what you're doing, y'all respect for each other is not going to be. It's not going to be in the same. Y'all going to be in a different direction. She's going to be thinking this way. You're going to be thinking this way. You're going to be thinking getting the money. She's going to be thinking you're just the bill man. And the bill man, y'all got to understand, but the bill man get replaced with nowadays. The bill man, you got to paying the bills always on the road. Not for every truck driver. So hold your thoughts. Hold your comments when y'all say that, because it's not for every truck driver. You do have people that are faithful. You got girls at home that won't cheat on their man.
It's a fact.
I'm
so happy you said that.
You have plenty of women that won't cheat.
Men be talking junk about us.
But you have girls, women that they don't care. Once you're now on the same mental level as her, it doesn't matter how much bills you pay. It doesn't matter how many times you call her a day. I see some drivers, man. They stress so much on the phone with their lady. They can't give their girlfriend, I promise you, when she gets off work at 5 o'clock, she still has her whole life ahead of her. He wants to sit on the phone all day long. Argue. I'm gonna tell you right now. Wait, he does or she does? This is what the guy on the road does, because...
See, I've heard a lot of men say that about women. Wanting to...
Vice versa. It go both ways. But it's just not even fussing. What he's trying to do is check his girl, make sure another Johnny or Joe ain't over there coming through the back door. So he has to be on the phone with her. Hey, baby, what you doing? Even if he's just sitting there, you know, he's got his earpiece on, he's just sitting there, and the phone is just going, he's just driving. They ain't even saying nothing for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. He just wants to know that ain't no other man over there.
Wow.
That's the wrong type of relationship.
That's the wrong type. I'm glad you said that, because recently I was in a session with a driver, and I keep it confidential as far as who it is, but I do get the understanding that I will discuss topics, because that's the point in what I'm doing, is exposing some things, right? I think it is very selfish of a partner. I'm usually hearing men say that women are doing this, so I'm thankful to hear your perspective, but a partner, period. It's very selfish to upset your partner who is out there driving and responsible for all those pounds of freight. That is a responsibility that people will not even imagine unless they are a co-driver, a fellow driver rather. You know, if you've never been responsible for that amount of weight and freight, driving it down the highway,
and that's where
you don't need to be preoccupied.
You don't, and that's where a lot of drivers go wrong. This is where all these gray hairs come from. Y'all can't see right here. This was when I had my daughter, you know, arguing with her mother.
Because the last time I seen you, I do not think you had.
I might have had 1 or 2 gray hairs up here. Now all my beard is new.
And that's only been a year.
That's only been a year.
Since I seen you, you did not have all that.
And see, this comes
It looks good though. Well, but you're young.
Yeah, I'm 36. I just turned 36.
You got more grays than me.
And this is the problem, guys. I be trying to tell y'all. Trucking, if you do not have a partner that understands, most women think, oh well, he makes money, he pays the bills. This is another subject I'm gonna bring. So if you do that to a man like me, I'm a truck driver, right? You got a girl already accused you of cheating on her while you over the road. But at the same time, y'all conversations, y'all not on the same mental level. She's treating you like crap. She's mentally abusing you with her mouth, mentally. Y'all understand? Just because I'm a man and I'm tough, it still hurts me as a man when a woman don't respect what you're doing on the road.
Or appreciate it. If you're providing.
That's the whole word. Women don't appreciate it. So what do you think a man like me gonna do? Because I'm not ugly.
You're not ugly.
So what do you think I'm gonna do? I mean,
you're quite handsome. Let's correct that. Just not ugly. I don't know if y'all can make out on the camera. Handsome. Okay.
And what do you think a man like me is gonna do? I'm gonna go see other women down the road.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Do you first though break up the relationship? Because see, that's something we have to discuss
I agree.
Right and wrong,
I agree.
and the decency and order of things. If you're not happy, it's not working. Y'all done tried it, it's not working. See,
but sometimes mentally, y'all gotta understand, when a man like me or other guys go through stuff like that, I'm already mentally stressed. So in my head, the relationship is over already. I don't even have to tell you it's over. It's over. We treat each other. You don't call me no more while you're at work. During the daytime, you don't text. I love you. No emojis. No nothing. In my mind, a man's mind, or a woman's mind,
no emojis.
The same with a woman. If you're driving in the truck, I met a lot of women on the truck. They're single because men that don't understand their career that's at home, maybe being the role that a woman used to play, but a woman's actually doing it because now I'm seeing so many more women driving now. It's a lot of women drivers now I run across. Yeah. And you know, big shots out, by the way, to my black females out there. I see a lot of black truckers out there. So y'all keep it up, man. And to be honest with you, and this is my opinion on what I seen, and I can't speak for everybody. When it comes to a woman driving a truck versus man, I'm not gonna say woman is better, more patient. When women take their time more, especially when it's a man industry. Women be trying to do their thing out here and get this thing right. You know, I met women. You know, a woman had one truck. I see her 3 years later. She got 7, 8 trucks. Okay. And this just from her grinding and saving her money, getting her credit up, and doing all the other things we talked about the S corp. And then she goes in the bank. And the bank see, oh well, she made 70,000. 80,000 last year. She got 50,000 in the bank. Yeah, we'll give her 200,000 and all that stuff. So big shouts out to the black woman.
Shouts out.
You know, doing anything.
Shout out to you for saying that, because I've heard several brothers give women their props in the industry, and I love to hear that. Kudos to you for saying that.
Yeah, you know, I respect all sisters out here. You know, and like I told you, it's based on who your partner is. It's trucking. You got a good partner, even if it's not your girlfriend or your wife. If you just got somebody you're talking to, a woman you get to know, and she understands you or he understands you, y'all got the best relationship ever.
Right. Well, see, that brings me to another one of my questions, right? Because relationships do sometimes suffer from this industry, from being in this industry. So would you say it's worth the sacrifice? Because you not only, well, we as drivers not only sacrifice our intimate romantic relationships, but other relationships suffer as well when you have drivers that are out over the road doing a lot of driving, spending a lot of time in the truck.
That is one.
Is it worth it? Would you say it's worth it?
I'm gonna say yeah and nay. I came off the road when my daughter, when she was born, I was at the hospital. You know, I stayed there with her mom. Okay. And maybe for the first 6, 7 months, you know, until she got bigger, and I took off and went back over the road. Okay. But I also did another maybe 6 months, 7 months over the road, and I got off the road. Okay. Because at that point in my life, I realized the relationship I had with my daughter, it wasn't going to be like it is now. So I came home, got a local job, like me and my daughter like this, like 2 peas in a pot right now. It's always going to be like that, you know. And because I came off the road and I said, I want her to know who her daddy is, you know. And I'm not going to say me and her mom was doing all that well, because suppose her mom, the mother of my child, suppose she did start talking to another man, and now my daughter sees his man and start calling him daddy. I didn't want that. Right. Okay. So I came out the road, got a local job, you know, continued to pay the bills, and had a relationship. And it's still so great. My daughter, she's definitely a daddy's girl, so that's great. That's great. Yeah. So, okay. But now you asked me, was it worth it? Is trucking worth the sacrifice? Back to what I was saying earlier. If you got a partner that understands you, if she doesn't think or he doesn't think all about the money, and sometimes you gotta make sacrifices going both ways. Now, truck drivers, y'all gotta understand this. It's been times where I've seen this with my own eyes. Truck drivers that don't come home, I've seen them fly their wives in with their child for the weekend. They'll get a hotel, fly their child in. You're making money, right? You got money, you're not broke. So why not fly your wife in on a Friday night? Y'all chill Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You go back on the road Monday. Yeah, rejuvenate. You know, because one thing about it, you can still maintain a good connection, even though there's some distance. It depends on the effort that both parties are putting in. You know, because sometimes
a little absence makes the heart grow fond. So having some time away doesn't have to totally just destroy the relationship. But what I've heard men say time and time again is that when you spend long periods of time away from one another, you are literally drifting apart. So another question I have is that at any time while you were out there, did you find yourself becoming somewhat truckerized? It's a statement, a term rather I came up with, truckerized, like institutionalized. Truckers do become truckerized, where they prefer to be on the truck.
So me and my boy had this saying.
Okay.
I've been incarcerated before. I've never been to the penitentiary.
Okay.
I've been locked up in jail before. I never made it to the big level.
Okay. 2, 3, 4 the big time.
But I did under a year in jail before when I was in my 20s, early 20s. I'm 36 now, so I haven't been in jail in a long time. I ain't going back.
Okay.
Not going good. But when I'm in that truck, I always say that's my jail cell. I'm getting paid for going to jail. Me and my boys talking on the phone like, man, hey, we rolling wheels. It's all jail cell. Same size the jail cell that truck is.
I was about to say, being in that bunk, you stay in that bunk for the weekend, you do feel like, oh, okay.
I feel you institutionalized, but I say, you know what? I'm not locked up. So I don't let
That's the beauty of it.
Because you get paid, and I don't let my mind up here feel like I'm locked up or
Very
feel like I'm claustrophobic. Because if you let your mind get locked up, see, this is when the devil start putting stuff in your head. The devil put all these evil thoughts, but this company ain't paying me too much. And really, naturally alone, you got to think, in the trucking business the way it is now, you're not going to make $1 million. Back in the day, the cost of living was cheaper.
That's a fact.
So everything is so expensive now. So if you're bringing home...
The money not quite the same.
It's not. So I tell myself as a goal, I'm going over the road, I can make $1,600. That's my limit. Okay. I won't take no lower than 16. Okay. I can make 16 driving somebody else's truck over the road. You got me. Okay. Because it used to be 2,000 8 years ago. Well, I ain't gonna say 8 years ago, less than that.
Yeah, less than that.
I'm gonna say 4 years ago. If I made 1,800, 2,000, that was a good week. But now, if I make 15, 16, I'm happy with that.
Okay. All things considered, yeah. Let me ask you something about road rage. Okay. That's one of the subjects I like to hear drivers' insight about, because I found myself being a little rageful out there, because it's as if the four-wheelers, well, some of the truck drivers too, do not respect our position as driving a machine, a dangerous machine out there.
Road rage incidents. I had a friend, lives here in Richmond. His mother, husband been driving for 30 some years. Professional driver. No accidents, no DUIs, never failed a federal drug test, nothing. Perfect driving record. So some white boys was taunting him on purpose, and they kept getting in front of him. Ooh. He's going 65 miles, 70 miles per hour, and they're getting in front of him, and they're going about 40 feet and slam on brakes. So after the third time he did it, for him not to hit them, he had to roll his truck over. And when he rolled his truck over, he's still out as we speak at home right now. He's been home for, 8 months, 9 months straight, trying to heal. This is an older guy. He was heavy set. He's a big guy. He didn't really work out. We're gonna get into that too. He didn't work out. So his body's just recovering. He's just ready to go back on the road 8, 9 months later.
Now that is a trucker story, which is a part of my interview process. I usually ask for a story. That is a hell of a story, because I have been in situations like that where I knew somebody was trying to be funny. More than one somebody. Like get in front of you and, do that. And I'm like, one thing, let me tell you something. One thing my daughter told me before I went out on the road, she told me a few things, a few gems, trucker gems. But one thing she told me was get used to not slamming on brakes. Get used to that. Whether it's an animal, somebody being stupid in traffic or whatever, don't do car behavior in that truck, because everything that you got behind you in that trail, when you hit those brakes, is coming up there with you. But it wasn't until I got out there and started really seeing how people play with a tractor trailer.
You know, speaking on that note, this is why flatbeds made something called a headache rack.
A headache rack?
A headache rack.
I never heard of that.
For flatbed drivers that already know this, it literally sits behind the driver's head. It's a big piece of metal.
Okay.
And the cargo's on the other side of the metal. And it blocks you between the truck, the headache rack, and the loads.
Oh.
When you're carrying heavy loads, big ass paper rolls, excuse my language, and paper rolls and all kinds of steel, like you said, you should say slamming on brakes. Yeah. That stuff is coming forward. And the reason they put them headache racks there, so many drivers died. That's why log trucks got headache racks.
Okay.
You know, you carry 40,000, 50,000 pounds of log, 60,000 pounds, that stuff is heavy. Big old oak trees. Yeah. That thing's coming straight to the cab.
Yes. Yes.
They had to come up with a headache rack. That's why DOT did that, because so many truck drivers lost their life.
Wow. You trying to save somebody else's life,
or the truck turnover, or road rage, somebody jumping in front of you, you slam on brakes, them logs, that cargo, that heavy paper, that stuff is coming forward. Yeah.
I've seen and heard those stories. Being in this industry, I've seen and heard those stories. Now, before, I had no idea. There's so many things within this culture, this trucker culture, that you have no idea of if you are not a part of the culture. That's a big part of the reason why I do wild trucking, to bring light to the culture of trucking. Now, road rage though, how do you handle it? How have you ever had like cases of road rage?
I had plenty of cases of road rage.
I started cussing something crazy.
So I used to keep a jar full of pennies. If you do some stupid slamming on brakes, get behind me, sticking your middle finger up, I don't have people throw bottles at my truck. Now, remember, this is before I bought my truck. My truck had power. You're driving a company's truck. They're governing at 65 miles per hour. I can't go no fast. So these people are angry. Or 70 miles. I never been in a truck that go fast as 70. Okay, but I say 70 miles. Mm-hmm. So people think that your truck is fast. They don't know that truck got a governor. No, this new truck is going this slow for this reason. Mm-hmm. We can't control that. Right. So people sticking that middle finger up. I usually let that. I apologize, but these people clearly deserve that.
Penny for your thoughts.
Most.
pennies for your thoughts. Your finger, your.
Hey, I get out of the fast lane. They get over. I get back in this lane. They get over. They speed up a little bit, get over in front of me. I'm trying to get around. They're doing this on purpose. So when they finally let me over, you're lucky it ain't marbles.
Listen. You're
lucky it ain't marbles.
You know what? Okay, wait a minute. So that brings me to another question. You've been in the game for 9 years.
9 years.
So within that 9 years, you've had different situations where you worked for companies, for yourself. Do you suggest at all, like blurring the lines within professional relationships? Like, for example, driving for friends.
Good question.
I recently heard a story that turned catastrophic between two friends that were really close.
Well, they actually happened.
And try to work together.
And
it did not turn out well.
I started off trucking with somebody. Not gonna mention
no names. Yeah, we're not gonna do names. But we're gonna do situations for clarity, for clarification.
You and this person are not just trucking partners. And we're friends, and I'm helping you drive your company to where you get another truck, and now you're driving another truck. Now you got 3 trucks. When you help build somebody up, you're supposed to grow with them. Mm-hmm. You don't supposed to be the last man. He started hiring new people. You supposed to be, hey, this guy was with me. This my business partner. He's my go-to guy. Yeah. Regardless of how much money you put up, what about the time, the effort, the professionalism,
the good energy,
the
camaraderie?
You don't see that no more, Harley. It's very rare, and most truck drivers, including myself, because this has happened to me with somebody I've been knowing over 20 years.
That's a long time.
20 years? I got my Class B and was doing work with him from the day I got my Class B, transporting. I started off on a dually truck, 3-car hauler. That introduced me to the truck game. I mastered that. 3-car hauler, 5 car haulers. I mastered all that.
Okay.
Then I went up to the 8 car hauler, 9 car haulers.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
That's
I didn't know you
had
used to do that.
That's what started me off. So I didn't come in the game like most people.
I didn't ask you that. How did you come into the trucking game? I usually ask that.
Well, that's exactly how I came in on a dually truck, 3 car hauler. So I didn't come in like most people did. I already had my Class B when I went to go to school for my Class A. They said, "Oh yeah, you already got your Class B." I said, "Yeah, but I'm here for the air brakes."
Okay.
So dually trucks don't have air. The dually trucks don't have air brakes. So when I went into the classroom, I already had my Class Bs. So I turned them into DMV. Took the test over because I didn't even have to take the test over even if you got a Class B. To get your Class A, it's something different because they had the air brakes. We have to unify as people.
Yes. Now that was some heavy game you was giving me before the interview. As far as unification within trucking.
We got to unify as people first. And second thing with unify, you have to love yourself first.
That's first.
You got to love yourself.
Yeah, that's first. Because then that'll radiate outward.
And if you love yourself, that means you love God.
Yes.
So, you put those 2 things together, then you can love somebody else.
Yeah.
But people don't reciprocate the same energy nowadays.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately. Unfortunately. Reciprocation, that word. And that's... We're lacking in that a lot of times,
And this will mess up relationships.
Yes, it does. Regardless of what kind of relationship.